Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Christine van Zyl, married to a pig farmer for 19 years, raising a teenager and taking care of Slimsland, Swartland, Solar Park's social economic development initiatives. I joined Partners for Possibilities because I couldn't say no to Meredy. Elgin was familiar to me, and I was attracted by the possibility of improving my life skills. My own experience is that I have come to realize the value of beautiful attention, of not preparing my speech while the other person is still talking. And for a woman, this is a great achievement. True to my nature, I wanted to give advice to Elgin, and I wanted things to happen. But that wasn't the correct method. It wasn't my job or my purpose. I had it completely wrong. I only had to be supportive and a thinking partner. My consulting is far from flawless, and to be honest, during the Flawless Consulting workshop, I found the content difficult to absorb. But I have applied the contracting principles many times with great satisfaction. I'm a practical person, but I'm also an avoider and postponer of note when I don't believe in the purpose or the method. The length of this commitment has taught me to embrace the process and see it as part of the method and the solution. The continuous reflecting had me setting goals, something I didn't spend much time on before. The community building principles are definitely influencing my life on a daily basis, and the use of what if has turned many dire straits into amazing possibilities. I have grown through this partnership and journey on many levels, but mostly in terms of self-awareness and confidence. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for your contribution to my journey and growth, Meredy and Selwyn included. But Elgin, mostly to you as well as your staff, who opened your hearts and classroom doors to me. It was a privilege. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Principal Elgin. It's the first time that I refer to myself in that order. It's a privilege for me to stand here today to share with you our partnership. And Christine, thank you very much for the fact that you have agreed to it. Meredy and I know that it wasn't easy to find a partner for Chatsworth, and especially also for the schools in Malmesbury. But when I mentioned Christine's name and Meredy approached Christine, she didn't hesitate to say yes. And like you heard Christine said, we had a partnership before. And strange enough, the partnership was because of some of my staff members. It started there. It started with something very simple. But she knew me, and I was comfortable with being a partner with Christine. But from the onset, Christine knew that although Chatsworth, when we talked the first time, Christine was aware of many things that we can brag about at Chatsworth. And my staff will agree with me. Chatsworth was the first school in the West Coast that started with a walking bus. We are the school where the health bus advert was shot. We are the school where this National School Feeding Scheme was commissioned to make an advert for the feeding scheme at our school. We are a school that, despite the context that we find ourselves in and the contextual challenges that we have, that we offer opportunities to our learners in that rural community. And I have my staff here that can nod their heads for what I'm saying. We create opportunities for our learners, and we've given them the opportunities over the years since I started there in 2010. And that is sports, that is arts and culture, and many other things. I was also privileged to be on other things, but to start with, what I need to say is, despite those things that I mentioned just now, there were these challenges that needed to change. And with the change, we needed to set goals. And with the goals, we needed to see what the results will be. And with the results, we needed this opportunity where Christine and I got together on my secretary will tell you, quite often she would remind me, Maria, don't forget. and Christine and I would be in contact quite often. And even last night, Christine and I were together to talk about what we're going to say here today. So the reflection after all of that happened was crucial to us to look at where we are, where we started, how we started, what these challenges were, and how we're going to get through it all. Because, like all the other speakers said, a school is not an easy place to work at nowadays. It has its own unique challenges. And yes, there are success stories, but with a partner like Christine, and I can tell you now, I'm going to say it again towards the end. Christine gave me something last night which made me think. She gave me it's called a 5-star Cadbury chocolate. But the 5 stars I want to give back to her today, because Christine deserves a 5-star acknowledgement for what you've done. So Christine, thank you very much. When we reflect on our journey, we can see the results, and the results are not all visible now. Some of it we can talk to you about, but some of the things are going to be rolled out still. It's in the process of being rolled out. And I'm talking big things. I'm not talking about small things. And we know that the partnership is not about funding, getting funding from the partner. It's nothing about that. We were made clear in the beginning. This partnership has nothing to do with getting funds. But as you've heard here, the partners would pour out their hearts, and they would help the school and assist the school in many ways. And I can tell you, I just spoke about Christine this morning, and my staff would tell you, this lady did wonders for our school. So that's my start. That's me, Principal Elgin. I'm going to give over back to my partner now.
All right. My journey with Elgin seemed easy at first. Time passed, workshops had come and gone, and the boat was sailing in no specific direction, but fine. COPs became like harbours along the journey. When we had to start with a draft business plan, it was like a doldrum. We identified issues and action steps, which weren't action steps because neither of us is strategists. We just wanted to make it happen. At Chatsworth Primary, some learners were more challenging than others. One morning before the June holiday, after disciplinary actions were taken, a small march ended at Elgin's doorstep. Many of his June holiday hours and afterwards were spent with meetings, reports, more meetings and more reports. It was a stressful and draining time for Elgin and his staff. For me on the outside, it felt like I was sitting in a leaking boat, holding my hand to Elgin in the troubled waters. I had to reflect and ask myself, how am I contributing to this sinking situation? I'm a typical Namibian. I'm not a good swimmer. But when the two of us met again, I got out of the boat, I stopped giving advice and asked Elgin the same question. How was he contributing to the situation at school? He gave me a superficial answer, and I asked him again. We like to believe that was the turning point for our relationship, for Elgin and for his SMT, because he took the same question to them. We like to believe that was also the turning point for our partnership. We were able to submit our plan and hoisted the sails on our appetite for the partnership and the action steps on the plan. Only last week the two of us realized that we crossed several obstacles in our stride. Amongst others, we are from different cultures. We have very different personalities. Elgin also had to face the loss of a parent earlier this year. And then I'm from Venus, and he's obviously from Mars. For our business plan, we have narrowed the challenges at school down to 3, namely, some of the staff lacked energy, ownership, and a sense of unity. A small group of learners that disturbs the peace with high-risk behavior and a lack of respect, and a small group of uncooperative parents and community members.
I was almost an official Namibian, and I'm a good swimmer. Yes, those were the challenges, like I said earlier in my previous slide, but with the help and with the with the skills we learned, Meredy, with everything we got from Partners for Possibility through the sessions we've had, I was fortunate enough to have the time to think twice. So I had twice the time to think. So we used all of that. And as you can see, my staff is here, my SMT, the smiles are there, the energy was there, the energy came back. There you can see, I was surprised, I was not even there on that day. And let me use the pointer so you can see, I know how to use it. That is a photo Christine took. I was surprised that Christine, as my business partner, would go up to the field to support and show that she is part of my school. And then, this lady is also in the audience here. Some of our staff members and people from the community attended the community workshops. And from that, a lot of things happened at the school. And there it is. Christine came to the school, spoke to the staff, introduced herself, and I think that is where the staff really felt at ease that Christine is not now only just someone I mention, that, and when I say my business partner, and I always would use it in that way, my business partner, so that they can know that I take ownership for being a partner with Christine. The staff is planning a breakaway because, like you heard, the staff needs to offload. That's a word that actually came from my staff in the sessions we've had. And with Meredy, thank you very much for what you've done, Meredy. I think the staff still talks about it quite often, the workshop we've had in the museum in Malmesbury. And there, let me go back quickly. This is what my partner planned. My partner is doing things for me. My partner is getting us a group of people that will focus on the grade 6s because they are the leaders of tomorrow. They will be next year's grade senior class and they will be the leaders. We are doing a drama workshop on a weekly basis for a period of time. And then my staff contributed. That's a new initiative that started. And there's another thing. If we go back to all the previous photographs, you'll see what we've done just last Friday. Something that came from the energy that is now seen amongst the staff. So we are doing things, we are energized and cohesive, and we have new possibilities. The words, Mrs. Farrow, can you say the words?
What if someone from our church would help us to do spiritual dancing?
That's grade R. If a grade R can think of what if, because we took the program down to the learners, we had it with the parents, we had it with the staff, we had it with the SMT, all the skills and all the ways in which we can contract and get people to get involved, to talk. This is what we've done. And this is something beautiful that Christine shared with me yesterday. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. I always tell my staff, plans don't work. People work plans. And then when Christine showed me this, I read it further. It says a goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. Still you need people. A plan backed by action, that's where the people are, becomes a reality. And Chatsworth is a real place with real challenges. But we have real staff that is energized and does not back down to make sure that we will get to reach our goals. Thank you very much, and thank you, Meredy. Thank you for the principals and everyone that we could have shared this year with. And thank you in particular to Christine. You are a wonderful lady, and we are privileged to have you as our partner. Thank you very much.